We're rolling. Should I leave this?
Was anyone else thrown off by that clap?
I kind of like missed my hand.
It was in a very masculine clap.
You want me to get another one?
Have you got your blood work done recently?
No.
Give me a man clap, bro.
That wasn't. God.
Everyone's
like, oh, my headphones.
Does anyone have gloves for him or like
Shit.
man gloves? What's that? Here, what's that fist thing that you love? That like you make the fist with the jewels on it.
Thanos.
You have like a statue.
Glove. Yeah.
Picture 2 of those on and now clap. All right, whatever.
Fuck me.
You're more of a Spider-Man action hero, right?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Now you're supposed to.
No, I'm not. Spider-Man. So I feel
Wait,
like
you don't want to play?
No, because I feel like if I was, I was playing, but I feel like my action hero character would not be phased by Spider-Man. Like I'd bully him.
What would your action hero character be?
I don't know. Probably something like, is there an action hero that's not really that smart, but he can smash things? Like Juggernaut?
Not the Hulk, because the Hulk's really smart. I guess Juggernaut. I'm sure the aficionados out there.
Yeah, but the Hulk's not smart when he's the Hulk. I'll be the Hulk.
No, but in the new Avengers, he is, because like he. Spoiler alert.
Let's not get
he,
too
like,
deep
learned
into
how
this.
to tame it all. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Life is, dude. I watched one of my daily vlogs from like day 2.
Okay.
And I was like, that feels like years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I feel like I've figured out how to slow down time.
Okay. So that's your superhero power.
Yeah, I slow down time.
Is it working in your favor?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot. Holy moly, am I doing a lot? But I'm not tired, which is weird because prior to this, I wasn't as structured, and I just felt tired and disoriented all the time. And now I feel super alive and awake and sharp and excited. And it just seems like a day is now like a week long. It's awesome.
All right.
How are you?
Good. Let's just keep it simple.
Oh, okay.
No, good. I don't know what context you want or in what framing you want.
What do you mean? You're like the
good.
question guy. And I asked you a question, so you're thrown off.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, like, are we asking to what level?
How are you? I mean, we had...
I'm doing good. Today was a good day. We the whole creative team trained today.
The whole creative team.
Squad. Gage trained.
I saw you guys this
Jordan
morning.
trained.
Yeah.
Josh trained. We got after it.
Since we did the brand book meeting, and once again, not that I want to take credit for everything, but I'll take a little bit of credit. Once we did the brand book meeting, it seems like that was the direction everyone needed a little bit. And then in combination with all these other little efforts, it feels like everything right now is like, just everything is doing momentum. So good. Yeah. The momentum that we felt like we had, I feel like is turbocharged right now.
Yeah. I feel today so far, we all trained. We all got here at 5:30. We trained. We launched a players video. I don't know, like this is releasing next Friday.
Yeah.
You'll be on the road, but today was kind of a big day so far.
Yeah.
With just all the not little, but projects that kind of got launched already, and then we're recording this, and then you're out of here.
Yeah, I'm out of here.
Just gone.
Yep.
Well, before you leave, we're going snowboarding tomorrow.
Oh, we are going snowboarding tomorrow. So this is one of the things that I didn't put it on my goal sheet for this year, but it was like a secret goal that I had. And I always forget that like we have a print shop and we can just make things. And whenever we do these big activities, I'm like, man, I wish we all had like matching outfits.
Now we do.
And I remembered that on Monday that we are all going cat skiing. So almost the whole staff, everyone that can really snowboard is going cat skiing. We rent out an entire cat. You go up a mountain, we go backcountry, we do all that. And it's a wild day. And I was like, wait, I'm going to design. So I took the Shaw graphic, put some snow goggles on them, and made a powder team as if we're like, in the Olympics.
Yeah, no, it's going to be sick. When we were talking about whenever it was, Friday, Sunday, whatever it was, you were like, I kind of got lost in a project, ... And I was like, what is this project about to be? Then that graphic came through, and I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I'm going on the trip, and I actually can be a part of it. Yeah. God knows how I'll do, but
You'll do
I'll
great,
be there.
dude.
Confidence.
Yeah. Spider-Man got confidence once he got bit by a spider or what?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, there
you
you go.
Kind of learned confidence.
Yeah.
Is that like an acquired skill?
Yeah, confidence doesn't come naturally.
It doesn't just exude out of people?
No. You have to, the recipe for confidence is kind of weird.
You have to fake it? for a little.
No, you don't have to fake it. That's what I think a lot of people do, is they fake confidence. We've met a lot of those people.
Yeah.
And then after a little while, you're like, oh, this dude is faking confidence.
You can fake it online. Then when
you
talk
can
to
fake it
someone,
online. Yeah. So, but I think in the back of your head, you always just don't believe in yourself then. So the recipe for confidence is really simple. It's not as easy as it should be, which is constantly showing up and trying and getting better.
Yeah.
And eventually you build confidence. And then even going through failures, like one of the reasons that I'm so confident is because I've failed so many times, right? And, in the name, flag nor fail, I do fail constantly. We've seen me fail. You've watched me fail at a bunch of things for a really long time. But I think now I've just realized, like, oh, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
And I can start taking bigger risks. And people are like, how do you have the confidence to take that risk? And it's like, well, I have the confidence because I know that even if it blows up, like, I'm going to be fine because I'm still going to show up tomorrow and keep going. So I think that's really how you build confidence. When people aren't confident, they think that they're going to make this decision, or they're going to, try to rizz up this girl or whatever. And if it doesn't work, they feel like on the other side of it, the failure's too heavy. Either you're going to be dead in the street, or, that's it. It's nothing else is going to work out. And I've been through enough shit now to realize that it's going to work out for me no matter what.
One of the things we talked about covering on this podcast, and we talked about in the past, is viewer questions, topics, comments, just kind of addressing all those things. And one of the ones that I saw earlier when I was making the list was failure in the early days of building the brand.
Yeah.
What were some of those for someone like maybe just starting or maybe a little bit further along in their journey? What are some of the constant ones that popped up in the beginning that at that time it was like, fuck, end of the world type stuff?
Yeah.
But now looking back on it, it gives you the ability to kind of look at it differently and understand how to move on.
So I think one thing in building a brand is you need to realize that if you're the sole proprietor or whatever, no one's ever really going to care as much as you. Like, that's something that took me a long time to realize, right? Like, this is my thing no matter what. It dies with me. And everyone else is here and they're really on board, but I might be 100% and they might just be 90. And if you have a 90, you might also have a 40, you might have a 30. And you just realize that no one's going to try to see things through as much as you. With that, no one's going to have the skill that you have understanding all the intricacies of your business. So when I started out, I remember like little projects that I'd be like, wait, you didn't finish it today? Like, it has to get finished today. And they just didn't realize the severity of it. So, and then also the pace that I work,
Yeah.
And I think that's something I've got very okay with, which is like, yeah, no one's going to work the same hours as me. Or when I'm here all day Saturday, of course, no one else is going to come in. Like, I want people to have lives. So that's one, is no one's ever going to care as much as you, but you need to figure out ways to make people care. And I mean, that's the reason we feel the momentum right now. Right.
Yeah.
And it's being good to your people. But yeah, man, it's just, whatever problems I've ever hit in business, I'm very good at finding creative solutions to figure out. So if there's a manufacturer issue or there's a product issue in house, I can always sort of pivot and figure out how to make it work. But the biggest problems that I always ran into were sort of outside my control.
Yeah.
So it was people not showing up to work. It's USPS losing your package. Like, there's not much I can do about that. And the larger we get, it just seems like those problems just get larger and larger and larger. One of the problems I'm glad that I never had was I never took money.
Yeah.
So I got offered $10,000 like 2 weeks into Flag Nor Fail.
Damn.
Yeah. So 2 weeks in, there was a power lifter, and dude, he loved us. And he was such a good dude. Like, it could have worked out really, really great.
And to give context, we're talking like 2010, 2009.
Yeah, I think we're talking like 2009. It was like kind of even before I incorporated. And he saw us wearing the stuff. He just really liked us. And he was like, hey, man, I want to invest in you guys. Like, I don't know what it is about you two, but there's something really, really cool. I'd love to invest in your brand. And I was like, I don't even know what that looks like. I never even thought about it. We weren't even a really brand yet. And he was like, man, I'll give you, what if I give you like $10,000? And I had never seen $10,000 in my life,
Yeah.
like ever. One time I saved up 10 grand and I ended up putting it as a down payment on a house. Outside of that, $10,000, it added that extra zero. And it was like, that was everything. And I was like, whoa, that's like, we made $1,000 this month. That's like 10 months of income.
Yeah.
Luckily, I had been screwed over by a guy right before that in business. And I sort of swore to myself, like, I'm doing this for me. I'm building the brand to be creative, and I never want to have to answer to anyone.
Yeah.
So I ended up not taking it. You know, the guy, super cool about it. I was like, nah, man, I just want to figure this out with my wife. So that's never been a problem. So I can see now how a lot of these larger brands, they take this big money and and next thing you know, like the brand starts to change. So that's a problem that I dodged. I feel like that would have been my biggest problem, especially now. But yeah, I mean, problems essentially were just everything outside. You know, it was a lot of times at the end of the day, and I think this happens as a business owner, and you've experienced this, you've acted as a business owner with me, but at the end of the day, there's still things to do, and realizing that you're the only one left. And I don't know, I don't see a lot of those as struggles because I like to show up for the work. Being an entrepreneur, things don't stop, you know, like a lot of nights I just can't sleep. I find myself waking up, and a lot of times it's not being stressed about the problems, it's being excited to solve the problems. And I think that's what makes entrepreneurs. It's when you're excited to solve a problem, that means you're the dude. When you see problems as like either a dead stop or a headache or something, and you're not excited to solve them, I think that's more, you're not meant for it.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's my little thing.
All right. You want to dive into some more?
Yeah, I didn't realize you had questions. Let's hear them.
Yeah, I mean, they're not necessarily in any
or questions or
particular order.
statements that we can respond to. I like this.
Hate to ask this again, but do you think Flag will offer the overalls in size 40 again? We have a restock coming up.
We do have a restock coming up. Yeah, we've been struggling. The overalls, our price point on manufacturing them is by far the most expensive product we've ever done, and they're not hanging up. But the forever fabric that we use, and everything about the overalls just makes them expensive. So we also didn't realize people were going to love the overalls so much. So our forecasting is a disaster.
Yeah.
But yes, we will have them back. I think mid-February. We were told mid-January, but it's looking like mid-February. And then after that, we're kind of betting on them. You know, I think that in the past, what we've done is we felt like the initial pops from our fans, and we restock, and then they just sort of stay. And this is the one product that we've restocked a few times, and they just continuously sell out. So we will be restocking. We'll be adding a few more colors later on, but that's something that, yeah, we're going to get behind those. I think it's a really solid product.
Is the podcast available anywhere? Yeah, it's available where you're listening to it right now. It's available on Spotify, YouTube Podcast, not yet Apple, but it will be on Apple as soon as we can get the developer portal working and synced up with my Apple account. Here's a long one. I'll just kind of paraphrase it, but
oh my God.
You see how, yeah.
That's like a breakup text message.
They're asking basically about the quality of the T-shirts from back in the day versus now.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, we know the behind the scenes of how different and how much better now
so
actually
what are they
is.
At between each thing?
Some feedback.
Or do they say like it sucks or it's getting better, or what is it?
They're referencing the super shirt. So they're referencing 2013 white super shirt, blank.
Okay. Are they saying that's good or bad?
That the quality is going down since then.
Oh, okay. Cool. I can answer that.
Yeah.
So that white super shirt, that's like we still use that shirt.
Yeah.
So that's something that I think, because we're experimenting so much and we're sort of expanding, the way that we do things is with T-shirts specifically, our print program in-house, we're able to be so fluid with it. So a lot of times what we do is we'll experiment with blanks. So, for example, one of the T-shirts that everyone loves that I don't is the oversized T-shirt. So the oversized Hustle Harder,
yeah.
I don't like that T-shirt. So that's a blank that we ordered from a company to sort of test the market to see how it works. And that way we can restock it and things like that. Print it in-house. It's a pretty quick turn. Once we prove proof of concept. So we have our stock t-shirt, which is our graphic t-shirt, which, I mean, that's what we print on for everything. So if you see anything sort of graphic on the website, it's that t-shirt. It's the super t-shirt. And that's all we used to use, right? And then after some point in time, like I wanted a blank t-shirt. So we ended up making the premium t-shirts. Now, Rob Bailey 5 years ago would have hated the premium t-shirt.
Yeah.
I would have absolutely hated it because I used to like t-shirts really tight and try to look as big and jacked as possible. And now I realize that we're at a point in time where we can cut and sew and make sort of a boxier tee that fits a little more fashion forward for right now. And that's essentially the premium collection. Now, to get to the premium collection now, we did the oversized Hustle Harder shirts, which bodybuilders love that shirt because they like wearing the big baggy shirts. I don't like it that big and baggy. I like it slightly big and baggy. So we had that. We had another premium shirt that we were thinking about replacing with that we're not moving forward with. So a lot of the stuff that you see us do is testing until we fall on something that's really, really good. And then, I mean, the other thing we've launched since the super shirt is the Moto collection, which is all you wear.
Yeah.
The Moto collection is by far my favorite.
Yeah.
By far. I get comments all the time that like, you can see my nipples through them or this, that, but that's what makes that shirt so rad is if you're in really good shape,
it shows.
It's the shirt that like, it takes you from an 8 to a 10. Like when I'm dieted down right now. When I put on a Moto shirt right now, I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, holy shit, I look awesome.
Yeah.
Right. But when I'm not in shape, I put on a Moto shirt and I'm like, ooh, I need that premium tee back. So we're trying to build out our t-shirts and have sort of different variants, right? So we have the Moto collection, which is form fitting. It comes in a long sleeves. It comes in a bro tank. It used to be distressed, but people were confused about it being distressed. They're like, my shirt has holes in it. It's like, yeah, it's distressed. So we have the Moto collection. We have the new premium collection, which is what we're going to move forward with. It's a solid shirt. The people that buy them in blanks, we've noticed on their account that they just buy multiple. So we sell them in 4-packs. And you'll just see orders. It'll order 1 4-pack. They get them all and they're like, this is my t-shirt now. And then they just order more and more 4-packs. A lot of people do that. So we have Moto, we have premium, and then we have our standard graphic tee. So our standard graphic tee, yes, is the same exact t-shirt that we used for the super t-shirt. We just don't, I think, we're not a graphic tee company anymore. Back then we were a graphic tee company. Now I think we're so much better that we don't rely on just trendy graphic tees, whatever. Now we're sort of like finding our feet with them and we're going to start doing them again. So like this powder, if this does well in a hoodie, we'll probably come out with it in a t-shirt. But I mean, that's what it is. And I think that every t-shirt has their own preference. Like when I get dressed and I know sort of what the day's bringing, I know what t-shirt to wear. So if it's just normal day, I wear a graphic tee and I'm like, yeah, graphic tee, whatever. If I have something going on where I need to be like a little dressed up or whatever, I'll put on a premium tee because they fit a little cleaner. Yeah. I'm not as obnoxious. And if I'm looking to make an impact or almost like my default, or I'm looking to make an impact or I'm going to train in it, I wear the Moto tee. So essentially we have 3, and I completely understand because that's something that we do with fashion, right? Is we try to push it just a little bit further. So our overalls, for example, yes, we could have made just big baggy overalls and done small, medium, large, extra large, 2X, right? And we thought about doing that, but we wanted to push the envelope a little bit further and make them fitted. Still movable, but they're fitted. And people have bought them and be like, I don't like fitted overalls. And it's like, all right, that's fine. But what I don't want to do is make the same graphic t-shirt and then just only use that t-shirt when we have the possibility to make these other buckets to sort of fill up. So, I mean, I appreciate the comment, but I think that just goes back to maybe we're not doing a good enough job explaining our 3 variants, right? So I guess we'll add that to the list. I think we need to explain the variants more. I mean, the premium tee is pretty dialed. The Moto collection is dialed, but that's something, the graphic tees, we never named them because it's just our stock simple t-shirt.
And that's one of the things that, like, we have the line plan on the wall over there, and we're already thinking about how we're addressing that with upcoming items in terms of how you see it on the site, what information comes with it, and kind of helping the user understand what they're getting. Because for us, the big thing is progress, right? I mean, that's the name of the podcast, all the different things. So if we have an opportunity to not print on a blank and make it better, make it ours, or make the pants just not be blanket sizing, we're going to experiment and try to do that.
Absolutely.
That also goes hand in hand with another comment that I just saw that was just under that, was someone referencing the Forever joggers, which we know are the best joggers. It's my uniform is Forever joggers and Moto. So
you wear the same thing every day.
The question or the thing is they feel priced out by the Forever joggers, because the Forever joggers are for our previous customer base, seeing it, and you're used to $32 graphic tee and $40 sweatpants. The Forever joggers are $108. They're different. That's not even close to what a comparable product would be for that market.
And that's what we do. So because this is the new world for us too. Like we've been entering into this world. For example, like the price of the Ben bag up there. I mean, if you're like, I'm going to buy a backpack, then like the Ben bags, it's a backpack, and it's a nice light backpack, but it's a Jansport lighter version with ripstop, and it's cheaper essentially, right? That compared to the freight bag, which is pushing $200, our margin on the freight bag is still bad.
Right.
Like we looked up the margins the other day when we were like doing some reordering, and Drew was like, dude, there is no way it cost us that much. And we looked at it and it was like, dude, there's a lot of tech in that. And one of the other things we do is you'll get them from other companies and they'll be like folded up and shitty. Like we made that so it doesn't fold up. Now, if we would have folded it up, we would have saved on shipping. We save on all these different things. But the problem is we don't want to cut those corners. So the Forever joggers, yes, they could be cheaper if we made them cheaper. But I mean, if I'm going to use the word forever, like we don't want to make them cheaper, right? So one of the things that we do with pricing now is there is a structure for how much you create a product for versus what your margin looks like. Now, we only go direct to consumer, so we don't have to worry about the wholesale factoring in there. But one of the things that we do is we do the math and we look, okay, in order to run this warehouse, in order to pay all the staff, all the shipping, all the returns, customer service, taxes, all these different things, the margin needs to be this. And then what we do a lot of times is we actually pull that down. And a lot of times, even when we look at competitors, right? And I think, I try to buy a lot of other people's stuff. And when I look at competitors, I buy a $130 pair of joggers. And dude, it makes me feel great that we are normally $20 less. Like that's where we try to hit, right? And that's just because, I don't want to price people out, but we're making better stuff.
And that's what, like the freight bag's a great example, because to our base or the core customers that have been with us for a long time, the freight pack at $200 might seem like a lot. Go try to buy or find a comparable bag for under $300.
And
good luck.
And that also gives us a weird market, because when I released the freight bag, everyone was comparing us to Peter McKinnon's bag. And at the time, that was like a $500 bag. And I was like, so wait, you're comparing my bag that I'm not claiming as a camera bag. It has pieces to it that allows you, because like I carry a vlog camera every single day, a couple of other electronics. What I don't carry is 15 fucking lenses, right? So, but I do carry food. So I was trying to make this like really diverse bag that if you don't carry a camera, you can pull it out. So it hits the market and everyone's like, oh, this doesn't even compare to my Peter McKinnon bag. It's like, but you could buy 2.5 of this bag for that. Like, why would you even compare them? It's like,
or on the opposite side, comparing it to the Ben bag.
Or comparing it to the Ben bag on the other side of the spectrum. And I think that's what people really aren't doing, is they just see like, hey, I want these pants, but they're too expensive. So we make every effort to, at no point in time are we like, how far can we push this?
No.
We normally bring it back.
And we always take that into consideration. Anytime we're like trying to figure out or decide or discuss the pricing of a product, I'm I'm always the first to be like, I know I'm cheap, but I wouldn't buy it. And then it's like, well, let's talk through it. And then we talk through it, try to identify the areas or the objections that I would have when buying it. And then it's like, cool, that's what the media needs to be based around. It needs to be based around speaking to you and speaking to everyone in the room why they feel this way about this product. And that's marketing. So.
Yeah. And I've been in a lot of brand meetings because I've started a lot of brands outside this. And our conversations are so much different. Like, we're always talking about the customer and how they feel. When I've been in other brand meetings and the conversation is always like, how much more can we push this?
Yeah.
Like, where's the point where people will start dropping off when we push the price up? Like, let's add another $7 more. Let's add another $17.
Yeah.
And they push it all the way up there until they factor it in, right? And that's just something that we don't do, and I don't see us ever doing it, right? Now, if I would have taken that VC money, or if someone else is involved, that would be the conversation. And that's normally why other brands, next thing you know, you see their prices jumping.
Well, if we were full on wholesale, that's something that's factored into pricing all the time. It's like, well, how many points are we making when GNC buys it at 80% off? It's like, Jesus.
Yeah, that's another reason. And honestly, wholesale for me, like, I want to do it this year. I want to get in some stores that we align with, but I see wholesale almost as VC money. Like, all of a sudden someone else is involved in the company and you have to, like, abide by them.
Yeah.
Like,
one of the big things that you always used to say this at the camps when we talk about wholesale and going into distribution or doing all these different things. We've seen it a million times in supplements. We see it a million times in clothing, is how someone else's control of your marketing. Yeah. You want to talk about that a little? Because that has stuck with me, and I think that's something that's a lot of people can find value in it, and we've only talked about it behind closed doors.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons I always want to represent our product. I want to be the one that represented it, right? Yeah. Me and my team and people that we involve ourselves with, because there's so much that goes into it. And I remember buying supplements when I was younger, and when a brand sort of starts to phase out, you go into the supplement store, you walk in, and first of all, the guy behind the counter is getting a $4 kickback to sell you Muscle Tech
or C4
or whatever it is.
Whatever
right?
he just sold you is
and
what
a
his
lot of
kickback
people,
is.
A lot of people don't realize that because it's just some bro that works at a supplement store. But he's getting, $2 to $4 every single time he recommends this. So that's a way that people sort of cheat the system to get the teenage bro behind the counter to tell you that these vitamins are better than those vitamins. And then you'll see stuff on a clearance rack and he'll be like, oh, that's old. It's one, because he's not getting any commission. Two, it's because they're just trying to get rid of it. But a lot of times it's the same ingredients. It's the same product made by the same manufacturer. But all of a sudden you're letting this 16-year-old kid that's influenced by everything else essentially be your marketing department. So if you've never, I'll keep picking on Muscle Tech. If you've never taken Muscle Tech before and you go in there and they're being phased out, Muscle Tech, I've never really taken it, but I'm sure their products are fine, right? I'm sure their products are on par with everyone else's. All of a sudden that 16-year-old kid behind the counter is going to get kickback because of C4. All of a sudden he tells you that Muscle Tech's bad, and that's all the information they have. Yeah. And we put so much into every single product. And I think the thing about my daily vlogging is I'm covering all that we put into every single product. Like, you're seeing me produce and try on samples and come up with branding packages and figure out price points and all that. And I think people are really like, whoa, I didn't realize all this. And I think that even goes back to that original guy with the t-shirt, right? Which was like, yeah, a white t-shirt with a one color halftone print. Like, there's not much effort that goes into that. Yeah. Right. And yeah, it was a good shirt. We still have that, but we've been building so much more since then. And if you just look at them as like, oh, they're just all t-shirts. It's like, yeah, fully aware that most companies don't really try. And what I don't want to do is just end up on a sales rack with other companies that don't try. And then the guy be like, oh yeah, that's old. That's not cool anymore. It's like, no, I want to bring in the customers and they can listen to our story a little bit and decide if we're cool or not.
Yeah. Yeah. That's always stuck with me, because the example we used to use, or when you go, I won't say specific brands, but when you go into PacSun and you see the clearance rack, it's like, oh, all them brands are just done now. I can get their shirts for $5. Yeah. But then you go on their website and it's like, oh no, they're still around and doing well.
That's their old inventory that didn't make the last season. You need to get rid of it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So cool. You want some more questions?
Yeah.
This ain't a question, but I'm going to read it anyway. Golf bag collab, just saying. Josh Jurgensen, 666. I agree with you.
I like that you even read he has the devil in his name.
I'll read people and reference
So
them.
golf bag.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I thought you want to talk about it.
I was just going to glance over it to get the people
All right. So one of the things in the past,
comment that
Austin, we have to watch our SKU count, right?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, for example, those shorts, I'm trying to push more colors of those shorts. I think we have 6 colors and 2 patterns coming out this year in the goat shorts, formerly the forever shorts, now being named the goat shorts. So we have small, medium, large, extra large, and then 2X in those, right? So that's 5 SKUs. So 5 different variants. Every single one of those variants needs its own little spot out there
in the warehouse.
Now, we had 2 colors. Now we have 10 of them.
For people that don't know, sorry to cut you off real quick, we ship everything out of here.
Yeah. So everything's in,
everything's
under this. So that's 5 variants. Then that's 10 variants. And if we want to do 6 colors, I mean, that's like 40 spots out there.
Yeah.
Now, those shorts are a little bit bigger, but now picture sports bras. Right? So you do one variation of sports bras, you do it in 5 colors, it has 5 different sizes. Next thing you know, it's like, now there's 40. Then you match them with bottoms. Then you do a variation of bottoms. And all of a sudden, inventory gets out of control.
Yeah, scoot creep.
And not only that, but I think with our brand book being released and what is on brand, right? Like, what are we really trying to accomplish? And then where do we put our efforts? So knowing that, yes, we golf. We also wake surf. So should we make a wake surf bag for your board? Like, we're running a small team right now, and I like the small team, and we need to make sure that we can pay attention to where we put our efforts. Now, that being said, all you do is push for golf stuff because that's your entire personality is the golf guy. So we made golf polos in the past, and did they really sell? No. But it was cool to make them. Yeah. But then we have, same thing, all of those variants sitting out there, clogging up the warehouse, slowing the team down. There's money wrapped up in them and everything like that. And that takes resources away from other things. So golf bag, I love how you put this in here. Yes, that's something that when we release our new bag collection, we're going to try to do a limited amount of collaborative golf bags where we'll pull our fabric. Maybe.
If this video gets 1,000 likes, can I do shit like that?
You can do whatever you want.
If this video gets 1,000 likes,
that's like a verbal.
I'm gonna run traffic to this.
I know. All of a sudden, you're gonna run paid media. I'm gonna see $500 go out from the account to push them to this podcast to the golf community.
Barbells and Windmills says tactical fishing gear.
That's an interesting name.
Yeah, at Barbells and Windmills. Yeah, I'm reading it right.
So once again, we're niching down on products, right? We're niching down on little segments. Tactical fishing gear. That's an interesting 2 words put together. So one of the things that we're attempting to do is we're obviously moving into the outdoor workspace, but also staying athletic. So I'm trying to breed a bunch of different things together. So one of the things we talked about, my brother and I were in Alaska, and a lot of times when we're out doing these things, we almost have the right apparel. Yeah. So, riding side by sides in Mexico and just being in the sun, I'm like, well, I'll just wear the Moto long sleeve so I don't get sunburned. But the Moto long sleeve, like, it's not really the right shirt for that. But I need a long sleeve so I don't get sunburned. Our core hoodie has the hood on it, but then you're like way too heavy and you're sweating. And then when we were in Alaska, we were talking about, I was like, dude, I wish I just had some kind of light. And Drew's like a fishing shirt. And I was like, we can't make a fishing shirt, right? So we end up and we live life and we try to do all these exciting things. And what we do is we take these points when we're missing things, right? So like when we travel, we need a little accessory bag, or we need this, or where do I keep my camera? And we add up all these little problems across all these different situations that we're in. And then eventually what happens is we're like, ooh, we could use this. So long story to say that in the plans this year, I don't want to say it's a fishing shirt, right? No. Like
utility shirt.
It's going to be a lightweight fishing-ish shirt, but we're going to try to make it for all those different things. So it's not going to have like water splashes with a marlin on it like most of them do. we're trying to make a shirt that you can wear golfing if you want to make sure you're not sunburned. You can wear it fishing on a fishing boat. You can wear it on a yacht if you're just, being bougie, or you can wear it riding a side by side in the sun when you don't want to burn. So that's sort of how we're looking at developing products from now on, is all these little pain points across all these different industries, and they add up. How do we get them down to one product?
Yeah.
And then be able to
That's
create
one of my favorite things that we have that we haven't really done a great job like showcasing. I mean, we've tried in the past, but the utility bag. That's kind of how the utility bag came about. Was we were sitting around talking about all the different things, and then it was like, well, how would I use it? Because I'm going to use it we live very different lives from, you're a farmer and I'm not. Yeah. Or you're like all these different pieces, and that's where it's like, well, can we use it as a cooler bag? And I used mine as a cooler bag like 3 months ago, and everyone at the party was just like mind blown.
I use mine as a cooler sometimes. So if you guys don't know a utility bag, essentially it's a man tote. It's not in here, I don't think.
I fucked up.
But it's a man tote, right? So it's waxed canvas on the outside. It's fully waterproof on the inside. Yep. It's rigid. So what I use mine for, and you guys probably see mine every single day, but I have tools in it.
Yeah.
So I have two at my house, right? I have my toolkit that's just always with me, that if I need to hang something or do a little construction, like I brought it inside my house last night to fix, I had a couple of loose cabinets and a shower head I had to change. So I just like carry my...
I need a shower head change. You do plumbing now?
I do plumbing a little bit. I do everything.
Rob's for hire.
So I bring that in, and you can change your own shower head. I feel like I'm going to show up and you're going to be in the shower. I'm like, this is a trap. But you're going to look shredded, so I'm going to ask you to pose, and it's not going to be weird. So, I keep it for tools. I also have one that's like just ready.
Yeah.
So if I go camping, it's like, ooh, I need a mini jump box. I need rope. I need all this stuff. And it's like my man tote.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, you can fill it. I do this when I go camping.
Fill it with ice.
I fill it with ice as my cooler. And I put everything that needs to be chilled in there because it's an awesome cooler.
Yeah.
And one of the cool things is when I camp, when I'm done camping, I have trash. Or that night when I go to sleep, we've eaten all the food, we've drank all the drinks. So I dump the ice out, I put the trash in there and zip it up. So it's like this really dynamic cool bag.
Is sick.
Yeah, it's so good.
We've
done a really bad job marketing it.
Can I do a promo on it just for the podcast listeners?
If you want to.
All right. How aggressive can I be?
Is this like a marketing trick where you have this planned out already? Because I feel like you should have told me prior.
No, I didn't.
Okay, well,
maybe just like 20% or something.
Do 20. I'm fine. I thought you were gonna maybe push it to 25.
No. I'll draw the line somewhere.
I don't think we can do 25 on it. We can do 20%.
Just for these people listening.
All right, do it.
The code is Austin is the best.
No.
What? Does it have to be specific to the product?
All right, you can do Austin is the best.
All right, Austin is the best this week, right?
All right, I need a report on these code usages.
20%. Yeah, I'll get you a report. We'll see. Because if they made it this far, they deserve a utility bag. Yeah, they deserve 20% off the utility bag. It's a really good bag. I keep checking my laptop because I'm engineering this. I don't know how far along we are.
It's recording. We're good. One more question. Let's do one more, and then I got to get back to work.
What's next for you on travel on the vlogs?
Well, you got to ask that question. You got to stress me out. So for me, I don't know when this is coming out, but my life has gotten very aggressive. So tomorrow we go cat skiing. After cat skiing, at 5 a.m. the next morning, I'm going to the Snowed Inn with Heavy D. He called me up yesterday and invited me, and I was like, dude, I don't think I can. And Drew's like, you have to go. So I'm going to Snowed Inn. So Thursday cat ski, Snowed Inn Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday I'm leaving Salt Lake and flying straight to the inauguration, which I'm going to be at a couple different black tie parties. Rooms that I should not be in. Absolutely. I do not belong there.
Confidence. You just gotta
I'm confident when I'm there, but I'm also aware that like I don't belong in those rooms. Or at least that's the way that I still feel.
They just stand out a little.
I just somehow get in those rooms, but people always walk up and they're like, "Who are you and what do you do?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know, because I don't look like a politician." So I'll be at the inauguration. Hopefully in the first couple rows. So I'm like, maybe I'll be sitting behind somebody.
I'll look for you.
It'll zoom in on Michelle Obama.
What are you gonna do with your hair?
It's gonna be cold. I'm probably gonna wear a hat. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, neither did I.
Because it'll be easy to see you on TV.
I'll be wearing a suit. So you see me wearing a suit.
But it, like we'll just see like your hair sticking up over top of everybody.
So I have to take snow outfits
and
a helmet and boots, and then I'm leaving straight from there, and then I need minimum 2 suits for there, and then I'm going to Puerto Rico for 2 days, and then I'm going to St. Bart's, so I'll need, I guess, like swimming stuff and shorts and stuff for there. Then from there I'm there for I think 6 days, then I go to Panama, and then I go from Panama to Colombia, and then I'll be back. So I'll be gone for, no big deal, maybe 2.5 weeks.
So your vlogs are about to get exciting. So everybody should go subscribe right now.
If I have, well, at this point in time,
internet.
I'm probably in it right now by the time this releases.
Yeah, this will go out next week. Yeah, you're definitely in it.
Yeah, so who even knows where I'll be by then? But yeah, as long as I have internet, I'll be. I mean, I got to figure that out.
Sick.
But yeah, my schedule, and even after that, February's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
March is getting crazy. We're gonna book some trips to go film these mini documentaries. So we'll be traveling with the team. Yeah, this year is shaping up to be like absolutely insane. I made a pact with myself that this is the year that, because I've done it before where I've seen what I'm made of, but I haven't like sat down with myself and said like, let's see what you're made of. And at the beginning of this year, I was like, let's see what you're made of. Like I had that conversation with Rob Bailey, and that's what I'm going to do. So we'll see how long this body can last.
Oh yeah. Well, we're excited to watch.
Thanks, man.
From here while you're just everywhere.
Yeah. On the move.
So I think that's it for this episode. What time did yeah.
We
nailed it. Crushed it.
You did really good.
Now what?
I like the questions things. I guess it allows us to address things. So ask more questions, guys.
Yeah. Ask more questions. Leave comments. Subscribe. Go on Spotify. Leave a review. Do all that stuff.
Reviews on Spotify would help us a lot.
Yeah. We were 42nd on the business charts last week.
42nd.
I don't know if that's good or not,
means.
but it popped up when I logged into the page, and I was like, I mean, it's showing me an award. I'll take the award.
So this is a business podcast? I guess it is. That's
kind of what it was. It was set up as.
Because we're talking about business the whole time.
Yeah.
Progress in business.
So I don't know who we're competing with on the business side of the charts.
Probably a lot of really big people that probably put money behind their podcasts. So yeah, leave us reviews. Let's catch up to some of those people.
Yeah, do that thing. And then if anything that we mentioned in this episode, you can find it in the show notes. Below, it'll take you to the website, and that's where you'll see Rob's Alaska trip. You'll see the utility bag.
You're doing a really good job with that, by the way. You guys building out those pages. You guys are doing really good.
Thank you.
Because it has everything that we've talked about on the podcast on that page. So if we reference something and you're remotely interested, you can go watch it.
Yeah, and it's good for me because when we're done with them, then I listen through them again, try to find all those pieces. Yeah. But yeah, anything that we reference or touch on, you're going to find on there. So that's your one-stop shop.
I can't wait to see Spider-Man in this next one.
Yeah. You weren't you Spider-Man this year for Halloween?
Halloween? I was Beetlejuice. No, I was Beetlejuice last year. Oh, this year I was Frankenstein.
No, you were a superhero 1 year recently. Not Wolverine from like way back. You were someone more recent.
I would have never been Spider-Man. He's too small.
Really?
He doesn't even have muscles, dude.
He doesn't need muscles.
Well, why would I be him? It would like me dressing up as Harry Potter.
I mean, yeah.
Right? Like, hey, Rob, what are you going to be for Halloween? I'm like, I'm going to be a little boy magician. Like, what? It's goofy.
All right. That's it for this episode. You have anything you want to say? Sign out?
Good night, Dana.
Good night, Dana.